What's up guys, Damian Keyes here, welcome back to the channel. So Spotify is the game when it comes to musicians, and while you guys want to get your music played as many times as possible and ideally put into playlists by your audience, the big one is when they hit that follow button. Because when they hit that follow button, they are going to get a notification when new stuff comes out, and on top of that, it will put your music into their release radar, into their daily mix and into other playlists. So we want to get that follow button hit, but it's not as easy as we think. When it comes to social media, we understand growth tactics. We know what we need to do in order to grow and get that follow or that subscribe. We need to be pushing out a certain amount of content. We need to be telling our story. We need to be building that community. But when it comes to Spotify, the rules are all different. So how can we grow on Spotify the same way that we can grow on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube? So let's talk consumption. Why is it that people will follow you? Well, it's because they like you. Well, kind of, but it's more than that. Just because they like you, it doesn't mean they're going to subscribe. The reason why people will follow you is because of FOMO, or fear of missing out, because they know that you are going to do more things in the future and therefore they want to be a part of that. It's because they want to see what you're going to do next and they don't want to miss out on it. So one of the questions is, what is next and when is it coming out? So let's use the party analogy. Somebody invites you to a party and you think, could be fun, maybe I'll go. Again, fear of missing out. I want to go to the party in case I miss out. When you get to the party, there needs to be a certain amount of ingredients to keep you in the party, whether that's the people, the atmosphere, the music, the place that it's in. All of these things make up a good party. Because if you get there and you walk in the door and you just think, this is not a good party, at that point, you walk straight out, and the next party you are not going to go to. But because you can leave at any time, should you stay at that party because it's awesome, and then at the end someone says, we're probably going to have some more parties, do you want to be notified? You say, yeah, absolutely, because you want to know when that next party is that you can turn up at. So back to Spotify. Firstly, have you told your audience what they get if they follow you on Spotify? Yes, they know they're going to get music, but is that enough? You're saying if you follow us on Spotify, you are going to get a certain amount of music over a certain time period, therefore starting to create that fear of missing out. Hey, we release every single month, so you need to hit the follow button because you're going to miss out. That is a legitimate tactic on Spotify. Or if you're concentrating on the follow button, how about, hey guys, we are releasing several tracks this month, and if you don't want to miss out, then if you click that link below, then you can hit follow and all of our music will hit you with a notification and it will already come to your daily mix and release radar. At which point people go, good, I know exactly what I'm going to get. But Damian, I hear you say, I can't be releasing music the same way as I release content. That's ridiculous, and you, my friend, are an idiot. Yes, I get that, but that's because you are thinking of Spotify in the way that you want to think about Spotify. We are talking now tradition versus reality. So let me ask you a very important question. What does Spotify mean to you? What is Spotify? Because of tradition over the last 40 or 50 years of the music industry, we have put Spotify into a position of official releases. The same way as you used to go into a shop and you could buy the official release. Okay, no problem at all. But is that what it is? Because it doesn't have to be like that. Spotify is just a social media platform for audio. So therefore, official release or demo or acoustic version or commentary or a live gig, all of these things can go into Spotify should you choose it. The problem is people say, oh no, all that stuff goes on my socials, but Spotify is for my official release. Okay, no problem at all. But in which case, how are you going to grow something which needs watering? It needs feeding. And if you can only put music out every 6 to 8 weeks, why are people going to be hitting that follow button the same way as you want them to hit it on Instagram or YouTube? Or can you start to rethink what Spotify could be in order to build it into a platform that suits you? The thing is, Spotify is cleverer than you are giving it credit for. So who says that stuff can't go into Spotify? You. You're the only person saying this can't go into Spotify. Spotify doesn't mind, your audience doesn't mind, people can find it more, but you are saying it can't go into Spotify. But when you think about it, there is room for all of this stuff on your Spotify. For example, if you put in all of the tracks for an album and then you did commentary for all of the tracks as a separate entity, people could listen to the reasons why, they could listen to you talking, they could listen to your stories. Is that going to break your Spotify? No. Is it going to be showed up in your most important tracks? No, probably not, because people are going to listen to it once, unlike your track, which they're going to listen to it several times. Are they going to listen to live demos and then that's going to break your algorithm? No, it's just going to be put in a bit where you just go, yeah, we did this live gig, we had some really great audio, we put that on our Spotify. What about other things like a podcast or an acoustic version? Why can't you upload that? Why can't you make Spotify a consistent place to upload your content, so you're saying to people, this is what you need to do, you need to follow, because we're constantly uploading content which you would like. Think about it. Back in the day, I used to have to buy music. Now, the music I could buy was the music they gave me. But if I was offered more from my favorite band, would I take it? 100%, of course I would. I love that band. And if they said, oh, here's just some live bootleg that we did, I'd buy it. If they said, oh, here's a B-side that we wrote, would you buy it? Yeah, absolutely, we would. Spotify could be exactly the same, where you could say, hey, this is our official stuff, and that's going to go in our top 10. It's going to have our official pick. It's going to have the playlist that we choose, but we've added some extra stuff. And the people are clever enough to say, I didn't like that stuff, I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to choose to listen to it. I'm going to put that in its own playlist. Because that's what we have done for the last 50 years. Here's 5 albums. I didn't like that album, it was rubbish. I'm not going to play it. Spotify is exactly the same, except this time it's free. You're not paying thousands or even hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars to get your music distributed to shops. Now it's just going through an aggregator for a couple of bucks. So once we've got past this idea of what can you post on Spotify so it's regular content, what about how you look after people the same way as you do on other platforms? Why can't you run a competition? And I hear quite a lot about pre-saves. Everything's about pre-save. The problem with pre-saves is it doesn't give you a good enough number. And on top of that, I'm constantly seeing the number change and going wrong. People are coming to me and going, this doesn't add up. So why not do it a different way? Why not reward the followers? Every month you'll do a giveaway or a competition. Who are you going to do it to? To people who have already hit that follow button. So that way you're rewarding people for following. You're rewarding people who already are looking after themselves by following your music. And how do you do that? Very, very simple. You just go into your Spotify, you click on the name and it tells you who you are following and who follows you. You can look after them. Or even better than that, you can do it via social media to show off the fact that you're looking after people who do that. So you are giving away some merch, you are giving away your time, you are giving away some love to someone who does that. Therefore, when people don't follow, they say, I'll just hit that follow button if I'm going to get some of that attention and some of that love as well. Why can't we do it afterwards and look after the followers rather than the pre-saves? The thing with growing any social media, it becomes how much you look after it, how much energy you put into it. The hard thing is when you say, I want to grow my numbers across everything. Very, very difficult because they all take different strategies. But if you say, this is about Spotify because we are all about audio because we're musicians, great. In which case, let's focus on Spotify. Let's give people reasons to go to Spotify. Let's reward people for going to Spotify. Let's make sure every link goes to Spotify. Let's focus on it, and from that point, we're feeding it, it will grow. Then when it comes to growing, you bring people into the game. You bring them into the growth. Guys, we want to get 1,000 follows on Spotify. We don't even know if we can do this, but we're going to need your help. All of a sudden, it becomes exciting, and I'm like, oh, good, I get to play as well. I get to help. And you say, great. Then you start working on it. Oh, we hit our first 100. We're already 10% of the way there. And I'm like, oh, this is exciting. Will they get to 1,000? Can I help? What can I do? Well, you can show it to your friends. You can tell people about it. Yeah, I want to get involved. So I start sharing it. And I'm going, oh, I followed. I'm involved. I'm good. I did my bit. And at which point, now we're on 300. We're gamifying this. Oh, this is exciting. What else can we do? What else can we do? We're bringing everyone else into the game instead of it just being your game. game. And lastly, the big one, the ask. Are you asking people? And I mean, are you asking people when you go out? Are you asking people when you see your friends? Are you asking people when you're DMing people or commenting, or just when you're texting people? Are you asking them and saying, by the way, I'm sure you do, but do you follow us on Spotify? Because we need those follows and it does make a difference. But what you get out of it is this. The ask is the sell. And I know it feels weird because as musicians, we don't want to sell. But unfortunately, we don't have a choice, because if we want to grow to the point where momentum kicks in, we have to get that momentum by asking. And the ask is everywhere you can make it. The ask is when you're out at a friend's house and what music are you into? I'm into this. Oh, you should check out our music. In fact, if you go on Spotify and you hit the follow, we've got a new single coming out in a month's time. Oh, let's do it now. Give me your phone. There you go, we followed. They won't care, it's just a follow. And all of a sudden, you're building up that algorithm. A month down the line, they go, oh cool, yeah, I will check out that song. Bang, you're in. Ask, 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 and then ask again. Spotify is a really weird one because everybody wants to grow on Spotify via playlists. But if you want to grow on Spotify, you've got to build an army. Otherwise, people will listen to your song and go away again. If you want to focus on Spotify, you have to treat it like other social media platforms. You have to love it. You have to build it. You have to bring people in. But if you do that, I promise you, you can absolutely build your Spotify the same way as any other platform. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you can do me a favor, like, subscribe, because it's the same thing with YouTube. It works well with the algorithm and it does me a massive favor. But more importantly, I just want you to come and be a part of this community, because we're doing this every single week and I'm so proud of watching what you guys are building. So thanks for watching and I'll see you guys soon.